Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, August 15th. We are halfway through the month. Crazy, crazy. I always say the year is going by fast. The weeks are long. Hope you had a good night. Elena says, good morning, how you doing? And she said, I'm good, just woke up, and I will see you tomorrow morning for TGIF and also in the afternoon on Saturday sprints. Thank you. We will see you, baby. All right, we are here to look at new releases in the genre of fantasy and science fiction. We've been looking at new releases all week. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. Good to be back after an extended absence. It is good to see you. I'm reading The Act of Disappearing. Need to check the other. Awesome. So yeah, we started out the week looking at cozy mysteries. On Tuesdays, we looked at mysteries and thrillers. Yesterday, we looked at romance. Today is fantasy and science fiction's turn. Tomorrow is Freeform Friday. We'll look at whatever I want to look at. Let's see, announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. I sometimes start a little bit early if traffic goes in my favor, as it does in summer. So make sure you have the notification bell, because sometimes it works. All right, fantasy and science fiction. First up, The Last Shield by Cameron Johnston. Interesting cover. The ancient forest realm of Sunweald is bordered on two sides by far mightier nations, a precarious situation. At its center, the Sunweald Palace is home to the Lord Regent and the heir to the throne, together with numerous precious and powerful artifacts. The palace is protected by the realm's elite shields, dedicated to guarding the royal line against all foes. A group of vicious brigands called the Wildwood Reavers have been stealing arcane artifacts and smuggling them across the borders out of Sunweald, and the objects they most desire are stored in the mystical worm vault, hidden away deep in the bones of the earth, within the walls of the palace itself. As political and religious tensions mount, Sunweald's druids prepare to enact rituals for the summer solstice, but the Wildwood Reavers and their treacherous allies have other plans. It falls to Briar, the commander of the Shields, to defend the ancient corridors and secret tunnels of the palace. The odds may be against her, but she'll see every enemy head adorning a spike, or she'll die trying. And I bet she gets involved with the heir to the throne. I bet you money. And it's love, true love. Sign up for a pop-up show for Saturday. Oh, at the last minute. Neat. Have to make some stuff. Have been resting on my laurels. No, you've been enjoying visits and so forth. It's okay. This next one I have, The Doors of Midnight, second in the Tales of Tremaine by R.R. Verdi. It's only 832 pages. Some stories are hidden for a reason. All tales have a price, and every debt must be paid. I killed 3 men as a child and earned the name Bloodletter. Then I set fire to the fabled ashram. I've been a bird and robbed a merchant king of a ransom of gold, and I have crossed desert sands and cutthroat alleys to repay my debt. I've stood before the eyes of God and faced his judgment and cast aside the 1,000 arrows that came with it, and I have passed through the doors of midnight and lived to tell the tale. I have traded 101 stories with a creature as old as time and survived with only my cleverness, a candle, and a broken promise. And most recently of all, I have killed a prince, though the stories say I've killed more than one. My name is Ari, and these are my legends, and these are my lies. A good epic fantasy. If you've read Patrick Rothfuss, that is a good one to check out if you're having withdrawal, because Patrick Rothfuss won't write the next book. Loka S.B. Divya is the author, second in the Alloy era. Akshaya Akshaya, Akshaya is the hybrid daughter of a human mother and an alloy, a genetically engineered post-human, and she's the future of life on the planet Maru. But not if the determined Akshaya can help it. Before choosing where her future lies, she wants to circumnavigate the most historic orb in the universe, the birthplace of humanity, Earth. Akshaya's parents reluctantly agreed to her anthropological challenge, one with no assistance from alloy devices, transport, or wary alloys themselves who manage humanity and the regions of the Earth called Loka. It's just Akshaya, her equally bold best friend Samya, and a carefully planned itinerary threading continent by continent across a wondrous terrain of things she's never seen: blue skies, sunrises, snow-capped mountains, and roiling oceans. As the adventure unfolds, the travelers discover love and new friendships, but they also learn the risks of a planet that's not entirely welcoming. On this trek, rapturous, dangerous, and life-changing, Akshaya will discover what human existence really means. Interesting. Doesn't seem to be hitting you over the head with an agenda, which happens way too often. I often wonder how the authors of sci-fi come up with such interesting names. Probably the same way that medications do. Have commercials for medications? It's like, what the what? Ley Lines and Rabbit Holes by Paul Tallman, second in a Rogue Destiny novels. Rogue Destiny has lost its greatest protector, and Ren can no longer pretend he's just the sidekick. Now he must choose between who he is and who he wants to be, and time is running out. After rescuing Claymore from the City of Assassins, Ren begs him to rejoin the Raconteurs, but his partner's mind is too far gone, poisoned by a madness that threatens to consume him. Claymore refuses to return home and leaves Rogue Destiny for good. Now the deadliest crime lord in the mythic cosmos emerges from the shadows to search for an ancient book that will bring magic back to the islands of Rogue Destiny. Ren and the Raconteurs race to stop the madman and his band of marauders before they find it. Their plan is simple: locate the outlaws and drop Ren into their midst to let him do what shapeshifters do best. But the loyalties of a trickster are fickle, and doing the right thing is not always easy, even when the fate of worlds hangs in the balance. Once Ren infiltrates the enemy, things go sideways, and he finds himself facing an ancient evil that threatens to devour a world. Interesting. Glass houses. True, medications are ridiculous. I think they just put it in a random name generator. There are websites for names too, but seriously, some of these. This is by Madeline Ashby. A group of employees and their CEO celebrating the sale of their remarkable emotion mapping AI algorithm crash onto a not quite deserted tropical island. So this is sort of a speculative near future whodunit, it looks like. Luckily, those who survived have found a beautiful, fully stocked private palace. What good luck! With all the latest technological updates, though one without connection to the outside world. No red flags here. The house, however, has more secrets than anyone might have guessed, and a much darker reason for having been built and left behind. Kristen, the hyper-competent chief emotional manager, a position created by her eccentric, boyish billionaire boss, Sumter, is trying to keep her colleagues stable throughout this challenge, but staying sane seems to be as much of a challenge as staying alive. Being a woman in tech has always meant having to be smarter than anyone else expects, and Kristen's knack for out-of-the-box problem-solving and quick thinking has gotten her to the top of her field. But will a killer instinct be enough to survive the island? I wonder if it has like Dr. Moreau things, which I never really liked the island of Dr. Moreau. I don't know why, just me. Coffee was required. Born of Blood and Ash, fourth in the Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Hang on a second. Is this a re-release? No. Okay. The line between love and obsession has never been wider. While Sarah is finally free of Collis and back with those she loves, not everything is calm. Memories of all she's endured still haunt her, but Sarah finally has hope for a future with the other half of her heart and soul. Nyktos desires, loves, and accepts every part of her, even the monstrous bits she still battles. More than ever, Sarah and Ash have everything under the realms to fight for, and Nyktos has no doubt Sarah is fit to be the queen of the gods, but she must find that faith within herself if they hope to convince the other courts to support them against Colas and make Elysium, the mortal realm, better, safer places for all. But as Sarah begins to piece together the importance of her bloodline and the true meaning behind the foreboding prophecy, it becomes clear that everything that has happened and is yet to come is much bigger than Colas and his dark obsessions. They cannot help but wonder exactly how much influence the fates have had and what their ultimate goal is. What Sarah does know for sure is that they can trust very few, including her. A battle between the gods is brewing, and heartbreaking losses are imminent, with the true primal of death strengthening. With a family of the heart willing to battle by their side, can Sarah and Nyktos stop Colas before he destroys the realms, or will it all disappear in a fiery inferno of blood and ash? Atlanta saying hi to Mary. Good to see you. And do you have a total of all the books you have ever read? It would be mountainous, I'm sure. Very impressive. Well, no. And there's been good years and some not good years. So, Times Agent by Brenda Peinado. Pocket World, a geographically small, hidden offshoot of our own reality, sped up or slowed down by time. Following humanity's discovery of pocket worlds, teams of academics embarked on groundbreaking exploratory missions eager to study this new technology and harness the potential of a seemingly limitless horizon. What would you do given another universe, a do-over? Archaeologist Raquel and her wife Marlena once dreamed the pocket worlds held the key to solving the universe's mysteries. But 40 years later, pocket worlds are now controlled by corporations, squeezing every penny out of all colonizing space and time. Raquel herself is in disgrace, and Marlena lives in her own pocket universe that Raquel wears around her neck and refuses to speak to her. Standing in the ruins of her dream and her failed ideals, Raquel seizes one last chance to redeem herself and confront what it means to save something or someone from time. Well, if you can go back in time, go back and make sure nobody discovers your little pocket worlds. Easy peasy. See, I should rule the world. The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. As head Phoenix Keeper at a world-renowned zoo for magical creatures, Ayla's childhood dream of conserving critically endangered firebirds seems closer than ever. There's just one glaring caveat. Her zoo's breeding program hasn't functioned for a decade. When a tragic phoenix heist sabotages the flagship initiative at a neighboring zoo, I think it's Isla. Isla must prove her derelict facilities are fit to take the reins. But saving an entire species from extinction requires more than stellar animal handling skills. Carnivorous water horses, tempestuous thunderhawks, mischievous dragons. Isla has no problem wrangling beasts, but mustering the courage to ask for help from the hot-shot griffin keeper at the zoo's most popular exhibit, virtually impossible. Especially when that hotshot griffin keeper happens to be her arch rival from college. Luciana, an annoyingly brooding and insufferable know-it-all with the face of a goddess who's convinced that Isla's beloved phoenix would serve their cause better as an active performer rather than as a passive conservation exhibit. With the world watching and the threat of poachers looming, Isla's success is no longer merely a matter of keeping her job. She is the keeper of the phoenix and the future of a species, and her love life now rests on her shoulders. 496 pages of that. The Maid and the Crocodile. Like the concept of the pocket world, kind of a novel idea. If it doesn't look like the five who written like this book all that much. It's an interesting concept, but you'd have to pull it off, and maybe that author didn't. But great concept. This is by Jordan Ifweko. It's a romantic standalone fantasy in the world of the Ray Bearer. The smallest spark can bind two hearts or start a revolution. In the magic silk capital of Aluwan, small Sade needs a job, preferably as a maid, with employers who don't mind her unique appearance and unlucky foot. Before she can be hired, she accidentally binds herself to a powerful being known as the crocodile. Oops! A god rumored to devour pretty girls. Double oops! Small Sade entrances the crocodile with her secret. She is a curse eater, gifted with the ability to alter people's fates by cleaning their houses. The handsome god warns that their fates are bound, but small Sade evades him, launching herself into a new career as the curse eater of a swanky inn. She's determined to impress the wealthy inhabitants and earn her place in Alawan City, assuming her secret-filled past and the revolutionary ambitions of the crocodile god don't catch up with her. But maybe there is more to small Sade, and maybe everyone in Alawan City deserves more too, from the maids all the way to the anointed ones. The Girl in the Bog by Keith Donahoe. Everybody is after the girl in the bog. One morning in a field in Connemara, a farmer unearths a body of a young woman, 2,000 years old, preserved under layers of peat. Later that evening, she awakens in unfamiliar modern Ireland, ripping a hole through space and time and setting a whirl old animosities and long-held grudges. Shadowy figures follow her from the pagan past, and each emerges with a claim on the girl from the bog. With help from a trio of wannabe teenage witches, she goes on the run. Joining in the chase is an American archaeologist who wants to keep the discovery for herself, and two befuddled farmers trapped in the plot. Hosts of fairies out for the night work their magic and mischief, and in the blue hour before sunrise, the saga unfolds in a battle for the ages. Well, there's an interesting concept. Except being in the bog turns their skin. But there are such things. They do find bog people. Yeah, exactly. Come clean my house. Be there a while. Oath of Fire by K. Arsenault Rivera. All Psyche ever wanted to do was help people, whether it's in her job as a therapist or online as an influencer. So when a mysterious invitation arrives from the most captivating man she's ever seen, asking for her assistance, she can't refuse. But Psyche soon finds herself in a world of courts, full of debauchery and treachery, where her only option for survival is to swear a strange oath to a mysterious masked woman named Eros. In mythology, Eros was a man, wasn't he? Now Psyche has to figure out how to fulfill her end of her bargain with Eros while trying to navigate having a flame-winged goddess show up in her tiny Brooklyn apartment. Uncanny vistas, a spacious mansion, and decadent experiences are all Psyche's for the taking, so long as she helps Eros, and so long as she never looks under Eros's mask. But how long can she keep her curiosity at bay when Eros makes her heart tremble? I don't know. Probably not very long. Mistress of Lies by K. M. Enright, first in the Age of Blood. Oh, vampires, I'm out. Fate is a cruel mistress. The daughter of a powerful but disgraced blood worker, Sean Leclerc, has spent her entire life perfecting her blood magic, building her network of spies, and gathering every scrap of power she could. Now, to protect her brothers, she assassinates their father and takes her place at the head of the family, and that is only the start of her revenge. Samuel Hutchinson is a bastard with a terrible gift. When he stumbles upon the first victim of a magical serial killer, he's drawn into the world of magic and intrigue he's worked so hard to avoid, and is pulled deeply into the ravenous and bloodthirsty court of the Vampire King. Tasked by the Eternal King to discover the identity of the killer, cutting a bloody swath through the city, Samuel Shawn and mysterious royal blood worker Isaac find themselves growing ever closer to each other. But Shawn's plans are treacherous, and as she lures Samuel into her complicated web of desire, treason, and vengeance, he must decide if the good of their nation is worth the cost of his soul. Key Lime Sky by Al Hess. An alien invasion hits the town of Muddy Gap. Denver Bryant's passion for pie has sent him across Wyoming in search of the best slices. Though he dutifully posts reviews on his blog, he's never been able to recreate his brief moment of viral popularity, and his trickling income isn't enough to pay his rent next month. Driving home from a roadside diner, Denver witnesses a UFO explode directly over his tiny town of Muddy Gap. When he questions his neighbors, it appears that Denver is the only one to have seen anything or to care that the residents' strange behavior, as well as a shower of seashell hail, might be evidence of something extraterrestrial. Being both non-binary and autistic, he's convinced his reputation as the town eccentric is impeding his quest for answers. Frustrated, he documents the bizarre incidents on his Filing Pie blog, and his online popularity skyrockets. His readers want the truth, spurring him to get to the bottom of things, etc. We're about to run out of time, and I'm trying to get to everything. Big Witch Energy, Starfall Point number 2. This was listed under romance, but I put it here. It's only True Love's Kiss could break. If only True Love's Kiss could break this curse, by Molly Harper is the author. Carolyn Wilton is dying to get off Starfall Point, but if she leaves, there's a good chance she'll literally die. For centuries, any Wilton who ventured off the island immediately perished in some freak accident. While Carolyn has begrudgingly obeyed her family's curse, she's never forgiven all that it has cost her. After all, her high school sweetheart left for college and never came back. Until now. Although Dr. Ben Holt returned to take over the med clinic, in his heart he came back for Carolyn. Practical, sensible Ben was too stubborn to believe in her curse. But when his own two teenagers meddle their way into coven business, Ben's eyes are open to the world of magic. He quickly learns that Carolyn and her friends have the power to see ghosts, like the angry woman in 18th century garb occupying her family's tavern with a menacing glare, and boy do they need managing. As the witches dig through old spell books for insight, they discover the angry tavern ghost as one of the island's most sinister legends, information that could be the key of breaking the Wilton curse and giving Carolyn the life she's always wanted with the man she's always loved. We don't have time, but the last one here is A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire. This one was also under romance, but I put it under sci-fi. Maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. We shall see. All righty. Woo! And we lost it. There we go. I would eat those cupcakes. I've always been interested in the bog bodies, but the author has served up too much stuff in that book. I think so too. But interesting concept. Eros is supposed to make your heart tremble. Ooh. Digitalis. Like the cover, Mistress of Lies. Yep. And Key Lime Sky sounds kind of fun. Yeah, if you want kind of a quirky ET kind of story. Have a great day and hope to see you later. Thanks for some reviews and hope to join you tonight. Will depend on how much I get done. Absolutely. Always welcome. Hope you have a good day and all that prepping for your show. You can do it one piece at a time. All righty. So yes, I do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes after a day. That's entirely up to you. It is self-care time. And whatever it is that makes you happy. In a lot of cases for us, that is books. And on that note, hope you have a good day. And remember, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.